So along with the other anime, I finally finished Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai, and because it's a long anime, I thought I should give it a longer review. I'll try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, but I can only be so vague. Overall, it was a fun watch with a lot working in its favor. The action was great with well-directed and choreographed fights that kept you engaged. The animation looked awesome as well, although it did have some 3D during periodic fights, but it wasn't bad. I also really enjoyed each character's messaging, personal growth through adversity, and journey conquering their insecurities that worked into the plot. This was best seen in Pop, but each one was fantastic. The expansive cast also gave a lot of variety that worked well when they all came together. And finally, the voice actors did a wonderful job imbuing emotion into the lines, whether building tension to a climactic moment or forging bonds with comrades during emotional ones. On the other side, the show had some issues. This is where the spoilers would be, by the way. One issue I had was a significant amount of time was given to various romances that ended up vague with no real conclusions, feeling like wasted time. Villains would also overshare for no reason but to give the heroes a way to win almost every fight. There were pacing issues in the first third of the anime as well that led to a confusing timeline and undeserved power increases. This kept happening with fights one right after another that shouldn't have been able to be fought without some sort of recovery. This led to the biggest issue the anime had, plot armor. I've never seen an anime use plot armor as such a core part of a story. The amount of random coincidences, last-second saves by a person or object, and enemies imploding on themselves was insane. And the amount of times a character wasn't saved and should have died but didn't was even worse. And sure, other battle shonen have this, but when 90% of fights end with a character being fine after another fatal wound, all tension is just lost. This happened with the heroes and villains, but especially Hyunkel. He would save people out of nowhere and survive definitive deaths so often I actually laughed at times. It might have been better if it didn't constantly use definitive words for everything and instead kept things vague. Final score, 7.4. Despite these problems, I did enjoy the show overall because I didn't get too caught up in the details, but if you do, then this will be a hard watch. Also, who named those spells because they were so lame? Have you seen this anime? Let me know in the comments and follow for more anime news, reviews, and recommendations.